Caitlin Clark does return to the floor. How is she going to help elevate this team even more down the stretch of the season?
Well, she demands so much gravity on the defensive end of the floor. She's constantly seeing multiple players, and she makes the right reads and makes the right plays for our group. So she's going to continue to allow us to stretch the floor. We're going to be able to, I think everybody else will be able to get more higher percentage looks because of what she demands on the defensive end of the floor. And she brings our own defensive versatility because of her length, because of her size. So we'll certainly look different. I think we'll be that much more dangerous on offense.
Stephanie White's newest sit-down with ESPN didn't just land like a pebble in the water, it hit like a boulder. The way she danced around Caitlin Clark's future role left fans with the uneasy feeling that this drama is bigger than anyone is admitting.
Right. Stephanie White, do not put Ari and Kelsey and Caitlin on the floor at the same time. Please don't do it. Please don't do it, man. Please. All right? That lineup made no sense at all. All right? Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Stephanie White? All right.
During her Monday appearance on ESPN's NBA Today, White was supposed to clear the air. Fever Nation wanted a straight answer about when their superstar would be back on the court. Instead, what they got was confusion and chaos. Not only did White sidestep the return timeline altogether, but she also dropped a twist that had fans' jaws on the floor. Rather than reassure them, she hinted at a brand new vision for how Clark would be used once she's back.
We've got Stephanie White praising Caitlin Clark. Did hell freeze over somewhere I don't know about? I don't know. We'll see. But she actually made some very nice comments, I guess, about Caitlin Clark today. She was on with ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, it's day-to-day right now. We're really just putting no timetable on it, going through the rehab process, and then we want to reintegrate her from a strength and conditioning standpoint, and then get her back to basketball activities, White explained. But here's the kicker. It's what she said after that sent alarms blaring across Indiana. Fever fans who already feel Clark has been mismanaged all season couldn't believe what they were hearing.
Thankfully, she went on ESPN and didn't use the phrase blessing in disguise. I mean this when I say this. I've said this about Stephanie White plenty times. I actually think Stephanie White's a hell of a coach. So many people are like, oh, you've done nothing but criticize Stephanie White. I think she's got flaws. I think her rotations are iffy. I think her game plans are good. I think her defense is good. And I think her ability to get a team together is pretty good. I think she likes to play a bit slow, but she is very good. What Stephanie White is really good at is making players and teams play better than they should.
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. White revealed that Clark won't necessarily be back in her usual role. Instead, she hinted at moving Clark off the ball, a huge shift from the position that made her unstoppable. I think it could be really good for us to get Clark off the ball a little bit more in certain situations, White said. Playing on the wing provides her that opportunity, allowing us to give her a breather and present our team with varied looks.
In everything that we do, for us, moving her off the ball a little bit more so she's not getting worn out in game, just handling the ball 94 feet. And then we're challenging her on the defensive end of the floor as well, being a better defender. The best for us as an opponent, you want to attack a good offensive player by making him play on the defensive end, putting him through the ringer. So being a better defender.
And here we go again. Stephanie White tinkering with the formula that made Caitlin Clark a generational icon. Instead of leaning into what makes Clark special, she's busy trying to force her into another cookie-cutter scheme. What White doesn't seem to grasp, what she's failed to grasp all season, is that Caitlin Clark isn't a piece of the puzzle. She is the puzzle. She's the system.
With Caitlin, at the end of the day, no matter how many games they win, they lost more games without Caitlin Clark playing. So everybody argument that Caitlin Clark is the Achilles heel, Caitlin Clark is this and that, your argument is obsolete, bro. They will forever have that notion on there, that blemish on there. Now, if they would have won more games, lost less, then you might have had something. But by them losing 7 damn games without Caitlin Clark playing, lets us know that, they need Caitlin Clark.
Think about it. When you have the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history, the same player who revolutionized women's basketball and brought record-breaking eyes to the sport, you don't ask her to run a Connecticut Sun-style grind offense. You build everything around her. Yet White clings to the slow, rigid style that dragged the Sun down as one of the WNBA's lowest-scoring teams. And the toll on Clark? Brutal that she's played just 13 games this season thanks to recurring soft tissue injuries. And when she has suited up, she's looked nothing like the Clark that lit up Iowa. Her shooting numbers tell the ugly truth. 36.7% from the field, only 27.9% from deep. On the road, where defenses tighten up, she's hit just 2 of her last 35 threes. 2 out of 35.
On the entire league. Remember, she literally added like nearly 3 points a game to her average. She was setting records for assists. Now, that's with Christy Sides having understood the job and just letting Caitlin Clark go wild. That's why I won't buy into the Fever. She's got to greatly alter her game for the Fever to get much better. No, she came back last year. She went scorched earth, and they were beating nearly every.
White's obsession with micromanaging Clark's minutes and redefining her role has been disastrous. Other coaches unleash their stars. White straps Clark down like she's fragile. The irony? Clark herself has said she hates minute restrictions. Earlier this season, she was crystal clear. I told them, I don't want to come back unless I'm 100%. Why would I be out there to play 20 minutes? Yet White keeps treating the league's brightest star like she's a porcelain doll. And the result? More injuries than she ever had in college, where she played over 35 minutes a night while dragging Iowa to back-to-back national title games. It's almost as if this overmanagement has thrown her body off rhythm instead of protecting her.
She wants to be out here on the floor, and we want her out here on the floor, but making sure that she's ready is the most important thing. I still don't know how far we are. We're going to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and go.
The most baffling part? White's insistence on pushing Clark off the ball. This isn't some minor experiment. It's a complete misread of what makes Clark, Clark. With the ball in her hands, she controls the pace, creates magic, and makes everyone around her better. Without it, the whole offense sputters. Clark herself has admitted, that's what I'm best at, when talking about leading the offense. Her frustration has been written all over her face in interviews. And when White tried her new system during Clark's return game against the Golden State Valkyries, the result was ugly. Just 10 points on 4 of 12 shooting. One of Clark's worst outings of the year.
McDonald, all she care about is putting the ball in the hoop. Everybody want to score. That's it. Y'all can barely look. Y'all had 17 assists against the Aces the other night. Y'all can't even put up 20 assists a game. That's sad. That's pathetic. Y'all don't be getting Sophie the ball when she open. You know what I'm saying? She be playing defense and everything, and Lexi Hull. Y'all need to reward those girls. They working hard, bro. Those are some hard-working women at the end of the day. You hear me?
But here's what takes it from frustrating to infuriating. The sheer beating Clark has endured while being shoehorned into this system. The numbers are shocking. 17% of all flagrant fouls in the WNBA have been against Clark. And 80% of those? Courtesy of the Chicago Sky. We've all seen the hits. Kennedy Carter's blindside cheap shot. Marina Mabry's body check after Clark had already been poked in the eye. And what were the consequences? A fine here, a retroactive flagrant upgrade there. No suspensions. No real accountability. Yet instead of fighting for her star's protection, White's solution has been to limit Clark even further.
Into this.
Yeah, we have updates, and our recovery's going well. It's just, I think for us, staying the course and making sure that we're really diligent about each step that we take, and that we don't have setbacks, and that we're patient with it. I know she wants to be out here on the floor, and we want her out here on the floor, but making sure that she's ready is the most important thing. I still don't know how far we are. We're going to take it one step at a time, one day at a time.
The saddest part isn't just the tactical failure, it's the way it's breaking Clark's spirit. This is a player who thrives under the spotlight, who raises her teammates' level, who lives for the pressure moments. But instead of letting her cook, White wants her to ease back like she's some role player off the bench. Think about it. Would any coach in their right mind tell Magic Johnson to move off ball to catch a breather? Would Stockton be parked in the corner so someone else could run the show? Of course not. But that's exactly the plan White is drawing up for the most gifted player in women's basketball today.
I think the obvious issue is Stephanie White is so stubborn to fit a circle in a square peg instead of utilizing the strengths of the team. And she probably felt relief because Caitlin Clark was hurt. That, oh, this is my time. I can introduce the culture and the system. And some actually bought in. And then when Caitlin Clark comes back, she doesn't know how to.
And Fever fans? They've had it. Social media is on fire with criticism of White. One fan wrote, "Stephanie White needs to stop this game plan and let Cece run the show." Another vented, "Never seen Cece look this down and dejected. White broke her." Fans aren't watching to see a watered-down system. They want to see the Caitlin Clark they fell in love with, the deep threes, the no-look passes, the swagger. As one fan perfectly summed it up, if they lose, they lose. But don't stick Cece in the corner and call that basketball.
Stephanie Jigsaw White. Let me tell you something. Y'all do not move the ball better without my Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC. At the end of the day, y'all have only won 4 games and recorded 4 games where y'all had 20 assists as a team at the end of the day. Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC, she averages 7 to 9 assists a game. You hear me? Because she moves the ball and get everybody open, because everybody and their mama and their grandma be double teaming and triple teaming her, and her team is lazy when it comes to setting screens for her. Maybe she wouldn't.
And here's where it gets even crazier. The Fever actually have the pieces around Clark to compete. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, a deeper roster than last year. The kind of talent that should complement Clark's game. But instead of maximizing them, White is trying to recycle a Connecticut system built for completely different players. Last season, under Christie sides, the Fever made their first playoff appearance since 2016. It wasn't perfect, but at least Clark was the centerpiece. Now, with even higher expectations, White seems more determined to prove her scheme matters more than her superstar. Fans are asking, how long will the organization allow this coaching malpractice to continue? Because let's be real, White's latest comments aren't just about X's and O's. They are about philosophy. They reveal a coach who doesn't fully understand what it means to unleash a generational talent. And every game wasted forcing Clark into an ill-fitting role is a game stolen from her prime. Fever fans deserve better. Caitlin Clark deserves better. And if Stephanie White refuses to adapt, then maybe it's time for the Fever to find a coach who will. The hope, of course, is that when Clark returns, she pushes through all of this and reminds the world why she's the star the WNBA needs. But for that to happen, she has to be set free. She has to be the system, not just another piece of it. Until White realizes that, this franchise will keep wasting the rarest gift they've ever been handed.